I have been selling this book, Zanazli and Wan Chun Hong's Guide to Indie Filmmaking, which is published by MPH for a while now. It's a really good book if you want to be a filmmaker, whether it's for YouTube, social media, TV, film, cinema, whatever. This is the book to get. I'm going to make it more accessible and more affordable to all of you because I believe that everybody needs to become a filmmaker. The more filmmakers we have in the world, I think this world will be a better place to live in. Now it's available as an electronic book download on my website. I'm going to link it here. It's really cheap, it's really affordable. It's only 5 ringgit if you want to get the ebook version. Okay, 5 ringgit. It doesn't really cost much, right? It's just a little bit of something for me. I mean, it did take a lot of work to write. Each chapter of this book talks about one part of the filmmaking process. And for each chapter as well, I interview a local filmmaker. It's only 5 ringgit. It's only 5 ringgit. Okay, you're watching and listening to the Fat Bidin Film Club, and I'm assuming I'm Zan Azli. As usual, every week we watch a local film and we review it. And this week we're reviewing a local film, and it's called
Harimau Malaya, The Untold Journey.
Aflin Shauki. I've been waiting for so long. He hasn't come up with a movie, you know? Okay. Okay, so we watched Aflin Shauki's Harimau Malaya, Tumpas di Padang.
What? The Untold Journey.
Oh, The Untold Journey. I thought Tumpas di Padang. Because you know,
because Malaysian, they did Tumpas di Padang
Malaysian football.
Anytime.
No, so, okay. Okay, before I say anything, okay, what's the film about?
The film is about the untold journey of Harimau Malaya. But then when you watch the film, it turns out that actually this story was quite told lah, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it starts
You know the story already.
Yeah, so it starts with this, like, okay, the Harimau Malaya team losing the Suzuki Cup. Was it the Suzuki Cup?
The AFF
The
Cup.
AFF Cup.
The Southeast Asian Cup, basically.
The Southeast Asian Cup.
It depends on who is sponsoring it at that time. Sometimes it's the Tiger Cup.
I felt like it was Suzuki Cup.
There was one time Suzuki sponsored it, so it was called the Suzuki Cup.
Okay,
one time it was the Tiger beer sponsor, so the Tiger Cup.
Haram.
Yeah, so
anyway.
It's all.
Okay. So anyway, they lost the cup, and then everybody's like, screw these people, and then like, where's the FAM president? The FAM president should I'm talking here and you're like crossing me. Can you please?
Good lah, just talk only.
I don't want to talk until you're done.
Then you're wasting the viewers' time.
You are wasting the viewers' time because you never said before.
Set already. You move forward, backward, all. Then it changes the.
Am I the one throwing the ball around?
This doesn't affect exposure. The ball.
Neither does me moving like this side. Okay. Anyway. Moving on.
Later we rewind the video and we show how you move.
Moving on. What was I talking about? Okay, so they lose. And then they want the FAM president to resign. And it starts with him hiring Kim Panggon. And then the story is about basically how Kim Panggon managed to get them to qualify for
the Asia
Cup for the first time
in 42 years.
But then in the end, they didn't go into quarterfinals. So, but we don't talk about that.
We remember, right? When Malaysia lost all their games and then suddenly draw with South Korea. Wow! 1 million ringgit for the team!
So the story is about that. Yeah. What do we think of the film?
I am a big fan of Aflin Shauki's films. I am a big fan of his comedy. I am a big fan of him. I'm a big fan of his films. I watched all of his films, the ones that he wrote and directed. I used to go and watch his comedy acts at the Actor Studio, Actor Olympics at that time. Oh my god, it was so. I don't know. I like Aflin Shauki lah. But he hasn't made a film in a very long time. Instead, pergi masuk politik pula. Allah. But anyway, he didn't win. But yeah, so when I heard that this film was coming out and Aflin Shauki is the one directing it, and he kind of wrote it too, right? I was like, yeah! I was excited because I'm a big fan, right?
And then you watched it.
And then I watched it, and look, it's not his greatest film. I mean, it's based on a true story. But of course, there's some dramatic things in there, right? Like
We suspect there is a fictional character, but we are not sure.
I have not been familiar with Malaysian football in a very long time.
There's this character named
Right?
Rashdan.
Yeah. So
Who is kind of the humanized part of the story, but we suspect he's fictional.
and also the captain Taufik.
And Taufik.
So I'm not familiar with Malaysia. It's been a long time since I've been familiar. I used to be a big Malaysian football fan since 1991 when Johor was the first team to win the double Malaysia Cup and the League Cup, right? The Premier League Cup. I was there at the stadium, okay, Stadium Merdeka, right? And Khalid Shadan was playing for Johor. Irvin Boban, Alistair Edwards, Abbas Saad, Hassan Miskam, Nasir Yusof, okay, so the professor, that's what they used to call him, Nasir Yusof, because he botak head, So he thinks so much until his hair fall out on the field. But anyway, then after that, you guys know lah, Malaysian football, people don't really go watch anymore nowadays. Look, Malaysia, like Selangor, for example, one of the most popular teams last time, the Red Giants, their home ground was the Shah Alam Stadium. You see how huge the Shah Alam Stadium is? Now their home ground is the Kelana Jaya Stadium. JDT people still watch lah, I guess. But anyway, when I watch this film, it's not one of Avlin Shawki's great films lah. The best, not one of his best lah, right? But it has hints of how Avlin Shawki used to be, right? Now Avlin Shawki is number one. He has a cameo appearance. He plays the main character Rashdan's father, deadbeat father, right? Yeah, and I love his acting. I think Avlin Shawki is one of the most natural actors, apart from Roshamno. I like watching Avlin Shawki perform. But here, he doesn't play a main role. Usually, in all his films, he plays the main role. It's like all of my films, I need to be the main character in my documentaries, right? Something like that. And he's very casual when he acts. And he's funny. His facial expression is funny. His timing is funny and all that. And it shows here, right? There are dialogues, one-liners, the funny one-liners that is very you associate with Avlin Shawki's scripts and his films and all that, and you can see it here every now and then in this film, and that got me laughing a lot, but it's not one of his best. How do I say this? It was shot very nicely, and if we ever say that a film is shot very nicely, the story is there lah, you can feel.
Well, I like the fact that it kind of looked at, because it's supposed to be following this football team and the coach and the players and whatever, but it actually also looked at all of the. Stop it with the ball!
Hey!
Who's moving now?
Yeah, but I know where my spot is. Okay, and then?
Can we get through this?
Okay, and then?
I forgot already!
No, you said that following the character. Following the character. Following the
characters, but from different perspectives also. So you got the fans, you got the journalists, and you got the. Don't make me do like NSW stuff to get this. NSFW. Anyway, and then.
She wants my ball.
It's not even yours.
And then?
And then, yeah. Okay. So it looks at the different angles of the different people that are also involved lah. So it's not just about the team, it's also about the journalists who are criticizing them, influencers who are criticizing them, their fans who follow them so religiously even though they constantly disappoint. And all of these kind of different dynamics, down to the security guard who's taking care of
who is Bel Nasri.
So it was, I thought it was great. I thought it was incorporating all of those elements and making them like interweave with each other was so seamless, and I thought I really like that.
I agree. Thank you for bringing that up. Yes.
I don't know about this main character guy though. Like, I get what he was trying to do. He's this young boy. He's very tortured because his parents got divorced. And his reasons for being tortured is a bit stupid, because he was like, oh, I blame my mother because my mother drove my father out of the house. But he was actually not a small boy when it happened, So like there's a scene where like the mother is throwing the father out of the house and she's like, I cannot take this anymore, right? Because the father's like a gambler.
I have to pay for all your hutang lah and all that.
And then like the father stands at the window and he's like, the boy is at the window and the boy is telling the father don't go, and the father says, you have no father because of your mother. And then he holds that against his mother forever, and I'm like, are you kidding me right now? How old are you? I get that your prefrontal cortex is not developed yet, but also don't be stupid lah. Like, come on, man. Anyway, he's
Yeah.
supposed to have daddy issues, not mommy issues, is what I'm saying.
But I think what they were trying to do is also to kind of like, towards the end of the film, he makes amends with the mother, right?
Yeah.
Then he scores the goal for the mother and all that.
Correct, but
and they wanted to make that relationship. I know.
But it was bad lah.
It wasn't done very well.
Done well. And then
Yeah.
like he also like he's supposed to, he's not a team player. He's good at football, but he's very angsty. He's always scolding his teammates, getting into fights. And then this like captain, this Taufik is like supposed to be his mentor. But then if you're already so angsty and you're whatever, takkanlah suddenly this guy comes and tells you, hey, you need to play properly. Then you suddenly like decide to play properly. It doesn't really work that way lah. I don't know. I didn't like the main character's storyline, basically, is what I'm
But
saying.
he's handsome lah.
I didn't feel like it was... Actually, now that I think about it, he's not very handsome also.
I don't know. I thought all the people
He's
cast
like-
as the football players were all like handsome people.
He's handsome in a very like barwa way, you know. Like,
No lah.
I don't know. Like I personally, maybe he's just not my type, but I would never, even in my younger days, I would never date a guy that looks like that. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about here. I just didn't like it. I didn't like it. It wasn't, and because he was a main character, right? It just it lacked a bit lah for me. I did feel a lot for Taufik and for everybody else. in the film.
Mickey. That's Mickey, who is a real character. You know
Yeah.
the acid splash. We don't like the fact that he got splashed by acid, but
Yes.
he's in it. Got cameo also.
Yeah, so like Taufik's character was, I thought, the one that amongst the football players kind of drew me in the most, because he's a senior player and then he's trying to guide his team, but his team is like all these young boys that are clearly like just in their feelings, and then after that he cannot play football already. Like, oh man,
Yeah.
that was painful. That was really painful to watch. And then he was crying, it was a lot.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, since you brought that up, the fact that the story is told through many perspectives.
Yeah.
The fan, and they never cross path, right?
Not really, no,
These
yeah.
characters don't cross path because they're all individual stories. But yeah, I guess, and Avnish Shoki is quite good at that too, interweaving these different stories, and that gives it the humor, because usually when you watch action movies or whatever, right, sports movies, you've got all these characters who play the different cliche and stereotype characters: the serious guy, the angry guy, the sad guy, the comic relief guy. So Avnish Shoki doesn't follow that cliche, and he has different characters' perspectives, and that's where the comic relief comes in. So he doesn't have to kind of like disrupt the dramatic flow of the team
Yeah.
with having one comic relief
But he
character
did.
in the team.
Mickey was that comic relief.
Yeah,
in a
but
way.
even though he's the comic relief, he's part of that drama,
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean? You want the comic relief, you go to the fans. You've got Douglas Lim, Kevin J, the Malay guy, the Malay girl.
She's not Malay lah, Amelia Henderson.
Oh, is it?
Ah,
She's pretty.
she's very pretty.
Yeah, she's
We've seen
very
her
pretty.
in a thing, but anyway,
I've seen her in a thing.
in a film lah.
Oh. What's that song by, is it Nelly? I want that thing.
Okay, anyway.
No, I know.
So yeah, but I still don't know how to really review this film because I don't really know how I feel about it. I think it's a nice film. I think it definitely has good intentions. But I also don't really know if it really needed to be made. Is how I feel. And at the end of the film, right? There's a scene where I think it was Kavin. No, it was Tony and Namron. So Namron plays the reporter in this film.
Plays it
And
well
he
though,
is a critic lah of the football team, and he's always going head to head with the
The president of
president, which is
FAM.
played by Tony Yusof.
Yeah.
So at the end, when they qualify, he goes up to Tony Yusof and he says, "Congratulations! How did you know that Kipangon will lead us to this victory?" Blah blah. And then Tony Yusof says something really like propaganda-ish, something about like, doesn't matter whether we are Malay, Chinese, India, we must unite
Yeah, there was a little
for
bit
the
of that.
country or unite for the sport or something like that. But the minute I heard it, it turned me off the entire thing.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, why? Why did this need to be in here? And there have been so many sports films that have been coming out, right? With Padu and with Goal and then now this. And it's just, out of all the three, this Goal was really the only one that wasn't pushing this
Propaganda.
nation building propaganda. And this film, I felt, was kind of going towards being an independent story of its own about the team and about the conflict and about the struggles that they faced. And when it was all of that, I was quite invested in it, and I was I mean, we all know what happened, and we all know that they didn't really perform so well or whatever, but I was still invested lah. Every time there was a ball, a match scene, I was captivated, you know. But then he had to say that, and then I just lost it completely. Just no more already. It took me a long time to build that dinosaur. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So that's the thing about Avni Shauki, because he does these things well. Like whenever he needs to incorporate things into his film, like Obligation, right? He does it well. Like he's great at like incorporating sponsors and product placement in his film and make it like a joke. Like in Sumola, I think they were sponsored by the Japanese massage chair. Ogawa or something like that. And he made it into like this funny scene where all the sumo wrestlers are walking, see the thing in the shop and going, it's so funny in Sumola lah. So here, obviously they were sponsored by Aeon. And they had this scene where the Ultra captain of the Ultras went in, right, and then goes to buy something in Aeon, and then they call the manager at the counter, and the manager is making, and he incorporates it and makes it like a joke. You know, and it makes it entertaining and funny to see the product placement in there. So it's like when you watch it, this sponsor ni, but you kind of enjoy it. You know? So I was quite surprised at that propaganda thing at the end. Because he could have, Avni Shauki has the talent, has the skill to incorporate it in without making it propaganda-ish. Maybe he's been out of practice for so long because he hasn't made a film in so long.
The line was weird. It turned me off. It turned me off the film. Completely. But then when I look back on it, it did give me good feelings as well. There was like, especially because there's this whole reconciliation with the mother thing, right? At one point, our conflicted Barwa face bro, Rashdan, says to the mother, I think after this I don't want to play already lah, football. And then the mother says, no, if you want, because he says I've neglected you for so long, so I want to like tebus my dosa, right? And the mother's like, oh, the way to tebus your dosa is to pursue your dream.
Pursue your dream,
and then
play it
our
well.
bro here was like just sobbing next to me.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, okay, I mean, I can feel it, I can understand. You know,
because
I don't know, as a mother, I too will wait for the moment my kids realize all of the things I've done for them, if ever, even. But I also wouldn't want to be the reason they stop pursuing something they love.
Yeah.
So I could feel that. I could really, really feel that. So there are moments like this, and then it doesn't matter if you're Chinese, Malay, or Indian. What the hell?
No, that's why I say this film has a lot of glimpses of Avni Shauki the Great,
correct,
right?
Correct.
But not together. So maybe it needs practice.
So it's a bit conflicting.
Yeah.
I am conflicted. So will you tell people to go?
I will tell people to watch it because it is not a bad film, right? It's actually a good film. I would tell people to watch it, but I also want to tell Avni Shauki, make some more films. You know, maybe you karat a bit. I don't know. You know, make films because you made really great films before this, and this film shows that you still have it. You should make more.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe it was also because he was working with other writers. Was that maybe a factor in it?
I don't know. He used to work with other writers too.
Yeah, but there were like 4 writers in this one though. I don't know. But I'm just saying, whatever the reasoning is, it could have been better, but it's also not bad.
Yeah.
Is where I feel like I will land on. So I guess.
I mean, it did. So yes.
Watch this film, I guess. Watch this film.
I have given up on Malaysian football to tell you the truth, right? So watching this film, I was talking to her. I said, hey, maybe we should all go watch football one day. Bring the kids all. And that's the reason why I gave up on football, because they disappointed me. And I know the end propaganda thing, you must support. But if you support, I'm 46 years old. You want me to support 46 years of my life, give myself 46 years of football that doesn't bring results? You know? I know, it doesn't have to have results really, but at least entertain. I don't know. I've lost interest. Could be a personal thing, it could be the whole football thing. I don't know.
I think if you want to, not demand but we need something to get behind. You can't just ask us to get behind the team just because it's a Malaysian team.
Yeah. We will.
Yeah, but that's not right also. What are you doing then to be a formidable Malaysian theme.
It's
Which
like,
I guess was what this show was trying to show, right? Like you
Yeah.
see, actually, they are really
really
trying.
trying.
But well, if you're gonna be Harimau Malaya, you have to be the best of the best lah. And if this is what the best of the best is, it's kind of hard to get behind.
Maybe because
I
it's
feel.
Harimau
I don't know.
Malaya. So Sabah and Sarawak feel left out.
Betul-betul.
But it's
Anyway.
like the film industry lah. You want us to support the film industry, make good films lah. Takkan we want to just support because it's local, but then it's also made badly, right?
Yeah. But we still go watch it and review it anyway.
Because we want it to be better, and we're trying to play this role, right? Of trying to make it better, right?
Okay. So watch this film.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
tell us if you
Tell
are
us what you
also
think.
conflicted.
Yeah. Avlin made some more films. I like the films.
Congratulations on this film also.
Yeah. Yes.
It's not a bad film.
And be a main character in your film because I like to watch you perform.
We saw him in Imagine also, I remember.
Yeah, correct. And he
was like
performed
the
really
doctor,
well.
doctor.
Yeah. Actually, this film also.
His performance was not bad.
Everybody's performance was not bad in this film.
Yeah.
It was not bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good casting. I like the comedians. Okay, so that's it. You've been watching and listening to the Fat Bidin. Oh, wait.
Like this video.
Like this video, don't like this video, subscribe to us, or follow us on all our social media platforms at Fat Bidin, or go to fatbidin.com to get everything you've been watching and listening to the Fat Bidin Film Club. I'm assuming I'm Zan Azli.
And I am Cheryl Abustawan.